For years, power in the Chi has moved from one person to another like a storm passing through the city. Some characters fought for influence, others fought simply to survive. But Alicia's death creates a vacuum that nobody can ignore. The trailer wastes no time showing us the consequences of that moment. Instead of peace, we see uncertainty. Instead of answers, we see questions. The Season 7 finale left viewers stunned when both men became connected to Alicia's death. Even though they did not actually kill her, their situation immediately became complicated. Their past follows them everywhere. In a world where perception often matters more than truth, innocence alone may not be enough to save them. The first look suggests that prison will play a major role in Season 8. The atmosphere feels cold, isolated, and unforgiving. These are not just physical walls. They represent a system that may trap people long after their mistakes are behind them. Victor and Shaad find themselves facing consequences that seem far larger than the crime they're accused of committing. That alone raises the stakes dramatically, because while they're locked away, life outside keeps moving. Enemies keep planning. Alliances keep shifting. And opportunities disappear. The most interesting part is that prison may become more than just a setting. It may become a test. Victor has spent years trying to build a better life and become someone different from the person he once was. Now he faces a situation where everything he has worked for could be taken away. The trailer hints at emotional struggles, difficult decisions, and moments that could push him to his breaking point. But Victor isn't the only person whose life is changing. Tiff is standing at the beginning of a completely new journey. When we last saw her, she was dealing with loss, responsibility, and the arrival of her son. Now, those challenges become even bigger. Alicia's death leaves behind more than grief. It leaves behind power. It leaves behind money. It leaves behind influence. And suddenly, Tiff finds herself in a position she never expected. The possibility of Tiff becoming the next major force in Chicago changes everything. For years, she has been a survivor. She has adapted to difficult situations and found ways to keep moving forward. But being a survivor and being a leader are two very different things. Leadership means carrying the weight of other people's lives. It means making choices that affect entire communities. The trailer suggests that this transformation won't happen overnight. There will be fear. There will be mistakes. There will be moments when she questions herself. But there is also something else: determination. Because every scene seems to suggest that Tiff understands exactly what's at stake. She has lost too much to walk away now. Meanwhile, another dangerous figure continues to move through the shadows. Nuck. The fact that he survived previous events remains one of the biggest talking points among fans. His actions have left scars across multiple storylines, and many viewers believe his reckoning is long overdue. Yet the trailer avoids giving away his fate. Instead, it creates tension. Every appearance feels like a ticking clock. Every conversation feels like the beginning of something violent. And that's where the real danger starts. Because someone else is coming for the throne. Someone who has unfinished business. Someone who remembers every insult, every betrayal, and every threat. Reg. His return immediately changes the balance of power. And if the trailer is giving us accurate clues, the collision between Reg and Nuck could become one of the biggest storylines of the entire season. But before that war begins, there is one hidden detail in the footage that could reveal where the story is really heading. Most viewers watched the Season 8 trailer looking for action. They watched for fights. They watched for prison scenes. They watched for clues about who lives and who dies. But the biggest clue may actually be hiding in plain sight. And that clue is responsibility. Almost every major character shown in the trailer is carrying a burden. Victor is carrying the consequences of the past. Tiff is carrying the future of Alicia's empire. Emmett and Keisha are carrying family responsibilities. Jake and Papa are carrying the weight of growing up. Even Reg appears to be carrying unfinished business that refuses to stay buried. At first glance, these stories seem separate, but they may all be connected by one larger theme. Legacy. Season 8 isn't just about ending stories. It's about deciding what remains after those stories end. Think about it. The Chi began with young people trying to survive a city filled with challenges. Over time, those young people became adults. Their choices shaped their neighborhoods, their families, and their futures. Now the final season appears ready to ask one final question. What kind of legacy will they leave behind? This is where Tiff becomes incredibly important. Many fans are focusing on whether she can handle power, but the deeper question may be whether she wants to use that power differently than the people before her. Alicia built influence through fear and control. Tiff's journey may involve discovering another path. The trailer hints at someone caught between two worlds. One world demands strength. The other demands compassion. Balancing those worlds could become her greatest challenge. Then there is the hidden significance of Reg's return. Characters do not return after long absences without a reason, especially in a final season. The writers could have left him in the past. Instead, they brought him back at the exact moment the city enters another power struggle. That timing feels deliberate. It suggests that Reg may represent something larger than revenge. He may represent the past refusing to let go. Every major conflict in the Chi has roots in earlier choices. Reg's presence reminds viewers that actions have consequences, even years later. And then there is another detail many people overlooked: the increasing focus on community. Several storylines point toward rebuilding rather than destruction. Keisha's dream, Emmett's future, Jake and Papa searching for purpose. These aren't random developments. They may be setting up the emotional message of the entire series. Because while gang wars create drama, communities create hope. And hope has always been one of the show's strongest themes. The hidden detail isn't a secret character. It isn't a hidden weapon. It's the possibility that Season 8 is quietly building towards something much bigger. A battle over what Chicago becomes next. And if that's true, the ending may surprise everyone. Now let's talk theories, because the trailer gives us enough clues to start connecting the dots. The first major theory involves Tiff. It's possible that Alicia's death was never meant to create another crime boss. Instead, it may have been designed to create a leader capable of changing the rules entirely. At first, Tiff could attempt to follow Alicia's blueprint. After all, that's the system she inherits. But over time, she may realize that power without purpose only creates more tragedy. This could lead to conflicts with people who expect her to continue business as usual. And that's where danger enters the picture. Because not everyone benefits from change. Some people profit from chaos. Some people need conflict to maintain control. Which brings us to Nuck. Many viewers expect Nuck to die this season. And honestly, the clues point strongly in that direction. But who delivers that final blow? That's where things become interesting. One possibility is Tiff. She has personal reasons for seeking justice. Another possibility is Reg. His history with Nuck creates a natural path toward confrontation. But what if the writers choose a completely different route? What if someone unexpected becomes responsible? The final season loves the idea of consequences. And sometimes consequences arrive from directions nobody sees coming. Another theory involves Victor and Shaad. While they may begin the season trapped behind bars, it's possible their prison storyline becomes one of the most important narratives of the season. Instead of simply showing incarceration, the show may explore transformation. Who are these men when everything is stripped away? Who do they become after facing a system designed to break them? Their answers could shape the emotional heart of the season. Then there is the Kevin theory. Fans have been hoping for a return ever since he left. The final season feels like the perfect opportunity. A cameo would not only excite longtime viewers, but also bring the story full circle. Kevin has always represented possibility, growth, change. His return could symbolize everything the series has been building toward. And here's another possibility. What if the final scene of the Chi isn't about violence at all? What if it's about hope? Many expect a dramatic showdown. Many expect tragedy. But sometimes the most powerful ending is seeing characters choose a better future. The trailer seems filled with darkness, which is exactly why a hopeful ending remains possible. And if that's where the writers are heading, every storyline suddenly takes on a deeper meaning. As Season 8 begins, every storyline appears to be moving toward collision. Victor and Shaad face uncertain futures. Tiff steps into a role she never expected. Reg continues his pursuit of power. Nuck faces enemies from every direction. And Chicago itself stands at a crossroads. The biggest question is whether these conflicts can coexist without exploding. Because eventually, everyone will want something. Freedom, justice, revenge, power, redemption. The problem is that not all of those goals can exist together. The prison storyline could expose painful truths. The gang war could create devastating consequences. And the emotional impact of past losses could push multiple characters toward dangerous decisions. At the same time, there are signs of hope. Emmett and Keisha seem positioned to focus on building something meaningful. Jake and Papa may finally discover who they want to become. Community-focused storylines could become increasingly important as violence threatens to consume everything else. But before any of that happens, one final confrontation appears inevitable. Reg and Nuck are moving toward each other like two storms. Every clue points to conflict. Every scene increases the tension. And if their collision truly happens, the aftermath could reshape every remaining storyline. Because in final seasons, nobody is guaranteed safety. No character is untouchable. No alliance is permanent. And sometimes the person who appears strongest is actually closest to losing everything. The trailer gives us glimpses. The first look gives us hints. But the biggest secrets are still hidden, which means one question remains unanswered. When the final episode arrives and the story of the Chi finally comes to an end, who will own the future of Chicago?